This is a film about Amsterdam and the most interesting and inspiring people who live here and the way that they are connected to one another. In this episode, we're going to meet Gesina Roters. She runs an advertising agency here in Amsterdam, and we meet her in her apartment talking to her former student, Amna. It's just such a lovely dynamic between them as they talk about philosophy, art, music, and other things that interest Gesina.
My name is Gesina Roters, and I think people know me best for being a very driven person in my profession. And my profession is to be a creative mind and a designer. I do owe a company with two other people called Day. We call it Day because in our profession every day is different, and that's make it so beautiful, because we are able to make something out of nothing. And I also think that people know me for not being somebody you can put in one kind of a box in my profession, because I really like to jump back and forth in between the disciplines, and I'm not really interested in being in one of those corners.
Where are we in Amsterdam, and what does this place mean to you?
We are in my home, and this place means to me being my horizon. As you probably can see in my home, it's quite horizonish. And I find that important because it has a kind of emptiness, and this emptiness to me is freedom. And it's important to me because as you know, in our profession, your head is constantly filled with impressions and words and pictures, and here I can come and be empty. And being empty often means that ideas come to you, and this is what here happens.
If there was one book people should read, which book would that be?
Well, I thought about this, and I don't come up with one book. What I think is very enlightening, to me at least, that if you read about philosophy, and then it's not so important if you read the nature philosophers or Plato or a modern philosopher. To me it means that if you lean back and you see how through the times people look at the world and shape the truth by what they think about the truth, that you come to the conclusion there is not one truth. And so that again means also in our work that you can shape things, you can shape minds, and you can shape thoughts.
If there was one piece of music people should hear, which music would that be?
Well, to me that's most definitely the Canto Ostinato, written by Simeon ten Holt, who is a Dutch modern composer who writes modern classical and minimalist music. And it's a piece for 1 to 4 pianos, and it's based on repetition and the same sequence all over, and it can go on for hours. But it's so beautiful, and it changes your mind, and it opens your mind, and you can have it in the background, and at the same time you can listen to it really carefully, and it's amazing.
Who is the most interesting person in Amsterdam, and what would you say that people best know him for?
I want to pass this thing to Willem Bars. He is a art historian, writer, and curator of his gallery in Amsterdam. And to me, he's very interesting and inspiring because of his knowledge of contemporary art and his controversial way of thinking. He always said that good art has to be a little bit uncomfortable, and I think he can brilliantly tell about his thoughts. He's just a very sharp thinker.
If you want to find out what it's like to run a gallery in the centre of Amsterdam, then let's meet Gesina's most interesting person, Willem Baars, in this next film.